In Spanish, vowels appear in sequences that produce vowel combinations called diphthongs, triphthongs, and hiatuses. The English language has similar vowel sequences, but the pronunciations they produce are very different. So English speakers cannot rely on their English language intuition for producing accurate pronunciation of Spanish vowel combinations. They must learn the rules. Fortunately, the rules are quite simple and straightforward. Spanish vowels can be categorized into two types based on how they interact with one another: strong vowels and weak vowels. A strong vowel plus a weak vowel forms a diphthong. If two weak vowels appear in sequence, the second one takes on the role of strong vowel, and they also form a diphthong. But if two strong vowels appear in sequence, they each retain their strong features, and they form a hiatus instead. Hiatuses will be the topic of a different lesson. So what are all the possible diphthongs in Spanish? Well, if we combine weak and strong vowels in all their possible combinations, we get the following possibilities. Of these, all are actual Spanish diphthongs except the last. The OU combination only appears in Spanish in rare words borrowed from other languages. You are likely to never see it. Then we have the two possible combinations of the weak vowels. So here they are, the Spanish diphthongs. Okay, so how are they pronounced? As I mentioned before, the stress or accent always falls on the strong vowel, and in the combinations of I and U, the stress always falls on the second vowel. So in isolation, they are pronounced like this: ya, ye, yo, wa, we, wo, ay, a, oi, au, eu, we, you. What observations can we make about the Spanish diphthongs? Well, probably the most important from the point of view of an English speaker is that each of these diphthongs is only one syllable. This doesn't seem like such an earth-shattering observation at first, but it makes a very big difference in how Spanish words are pronounced. English speakers tend to want to split up some of these diphthongs into more than one syllable and pronounce each of the vowels as if it were a separate strong vowel. This really messes up their pronunciation. A corollary to the observation that diphthongs are each only one syllable is that in each of these, the I is pronounced pretty much the same as the English letter Y, and the U is pronounced much like the English W. If you remember this, it makes it much easier to pronounce each diphthong as a single syllable. With that introduction, let's look at some actual Spanish words with diphthongs in them. Media, gracias, estudiar, siendo, tiene, mientras, milenio, religioso, palacio. English speakers tend to want to split up some of these diphthongs into separate syllables, producing incorrect pronunciations, such as media, gracias, estudiar, milenio, palacio. Probably the most commonly heard mistake of this kind is with the word gracias, which is only two syllables: gracias, gracias. It's extremely common for Americans, even ones who speak Spanish pretty well, to say gracias, as if it were three syllables. This is a mistake, and it contributes to your foreign accent. If you want to speak Spanish with as little foreign accent as possible, it's important to pronounce diphthongs as a single syllable. As I mentioned before, it helps a lot to remember that the I in all these is pronounced like the English letter Y. Media, gracias, estudiar, milenio, palacio. Here are some more Spanish words with diphthongs in them. Situar, igual, estatua, bueno, influencia, nuevo, continuo, antiguo, acuoso. Again, English speakers tend to want to separate some of these diphthongs, producing incorrect pronunciations, such as situar, estatua, influencia, continuo. Probably the toughest one to get right is influencia, probably because the syllable with the diphthong in it is so complicated, and because it has an English cognate in which we split up the two vowels. As I said earlier, it helps a lot to remember that the U in all these is pronounced like the English letter W. Situar, estatua, influencia, continuo. Here are some more examples of diphthongs. Aire, paisaje, baile. 6. Deleite, peinado. Senoides, Moisés. Oigo. English speakers don't seem to want to split these up as much as some of the other diphthongs, but they do tend to pronounce them wrong for other reasons. It seems as though they want to put too much emphasis on the letter I, producing awkward, elongated sounds. Aire, baile, 6, peinado. One other thing English speakers tend to do is leave out the I altogether, producing words like are, vale, 6, penado. Both of these tendencies produce serious mispronunciations. The AI combination is pronounced like the English word I, and the EI combination is pronounced like the long A in face. Aire, baile, 6, peinado. Here are some more words with diphthongs. Aunque, pauta, causa. Europa, neutral, deuda. Ruido, cuidado, Luis. Ciudad, triunfo, viuda. And once again, English speakers tend to want to split these up. Aunque, Europa, deuda, ruido, Luis, ciudad, triunfo. And again, it helps to remember that the U is pronounced like a W when it is combined with a strong vowel, and each of these diphthongs is only one syllable. Aunque, Europa, deuda, ruido, Luis. And the I is pronounced like a Y when it plays a weak vowel. Ciudad, viuda. This is the conclusion to your introduction to Spanish diphthongs. In our next lesson, we'll look at hiatuses.